Very well, very, very happy to be here.
Great.
Thanks for asking me.
It's a great pleasure to have Tina May here from My Life in Music. So how was your drive down? Good?
It was all right, yeah, and it's sunny.
It's sunny, yeah.
I felt excited I was going out, and here I am.
It's great to have you with us. So before we start playing, we thought we'd do a song. So we're going to do a quick tune, and then we'll get on with the interview side of things.
Yeah, sure. This is...
What are we doing?
Okay, yes, that's a point. This is a song written by Diane Shaw, and it's perfect for a lovely hazy day like now. It's called Louisiana Sunday Afternoon. Temperature is rising with the heat. I feel desire burning in the street. I am missing you. You said you want me to. Well, baby, where are you? Under this sky so blue, Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Oh, Lord, you gotta help me make it through. I can't wait just to see my baby true. 'Cause it's a Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Well, feel desire burning in my bones. But I'm here waiting all alone. I am missing you. You said we'd be together. Baby, where are you? You said you would love me forever. Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Oh, Lord, you just gotta help me make it through. Just can't wait to see my baby true. Ooh, Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Oh. Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Fantastic, Tina May.
Oh.
What a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, it's lovely to be here.
For you, those first time on our channel, please like and subscribe. That would be great to support the Moody Indigo Events Jazz YouTube channel. Also, if you have any questions, any comments, put them in the live chat. We'd love to interact with you. So let's go back to the beginning of your kind of musical journey.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you first started playing or singing or being involved?
I guess I was about 6, I think. My mum and dad, it was a very musical household. Mum and dad were good piano players. Amateur, but good piano players. Mum would only read music, so she did like songs from the shows and stuff like that. My dad, he did stride. He was doing, so I grew up singing along with Fats Waller recordings and stuff like that, which I loved. Am I not? Oops. Am I muted?
No, it's me, they can't hear.
Ah.
Very strange.
Aha.
I've seen the culprit. You should be hearing me now. That's it. Okay, they can hear you, so carry on.
Oh, great. So anyway, my dad was Scots, and there's that tradition of you doing your party piece and joining in at parties, and there was a lot of that, a lot of sing-songs. And I learned clarinet. My sister, she did guitar and also violin, and we did a fair amount of noisy singing and that
Right.
sort of thing.
Right.
Luckily, it was a little village and not too many neighbours. And if we had a party, they always got invited anyway, so it was all right. But I did a lot of... I played clarinet as soon as I was big enough to hold it.
Oh, okay.
And I used to... I have to say, I remember playing along to things like The Jungle Book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I think those movies, the Disney ones, really turned a lot of kids onto jazz.
Yeah.
The Aristocats,
Yeah.
everybody wants to be a cat and all that sort of stuff.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, so I associated jazz particularly with fun. Although I didn't really know. We had all sorts of classical things, and there was kind of lots of different styles, and also folk music, Scottish folk music, but there was a little folk club in the village, so yeah, I just think it was just music was everywhere, really.
Brilliant.
And my mum and dad had some great records.
Did you used to play with your parents at all? Did you all play together?
Oh yeah, all of it. Yeah, because my sister still does fiddle, and so we just join in and have some fun.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It's a brilliant start. So when did you decide to? So that was, I take it, did you do grades and things like that on the clarinet?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And then I did classical singing from 16 onwards, because I sort of felt I needed to I just felt quite instinctively that you can hurt your voice, and you need
To do it properly, right.
I needed to get a training. And my mum kindly said, well, let's find you a teacher. So Saturday mornings, always go to my music lessons and with my mum, and I loved it. And then even when I went to university, I found a good teacher there, Eileen Price, and even when I was in Paris, I took some lessons, and I felt that gave me a good grounding.
Yeah, great. So what part of the world did you grow up in?
little village called Frampton-on-Severn, down by the river.
Oh, okay, so it's Bristol way, I guess.
Yes,
yeah?
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a bit of a Severn burr. And they used to say, because it's a one through road, no through road, so you have to want to go there. And if you drive too far, you're in the river. So
Right.
kind of lovely and a really nice place to grow up, actually. But it wasn't the posh end of Gloucestershire. It
Right.
was the farming community. It wasn't like
great.
Cotswolds, but
Yeah.
very beautiful. And funny things used to happen. Like one summer holidays, we had Scottish relatives over, and she said, "Well, where's Tina? Where's Tina?" "Oh, there's something going on by the river." So my dad hopped on his bike, and yes, there was something going on by the river. A whole load of kids and a vet and the farmers were trying to pull out a cow that had slid down the mud into the river.
Oh, no.
And it was a pregnant cow, so it was a bit even more tricky.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, it was really funny. Came back, and we got it. We got the cow out. And my Uncle Bob said, "Okay, where have you been?" I said, "Well, we were pulling a cow out of the river." And he says, "Oh, a likely story." And then the next day, front page, it was a picture of all of us, all the kids and the vet and everyone and the cow, very muddy.
Oh, wow.
So it was a kind of a very, very innocent place to sort of grow up. So that was nice.
Fantastic. Yeah, great. And so then you went to university,
Yeah.
did you say? And was that to study music or?
Well, no, I wanted to do music and drama, but Dad really didn't have much confidence in that, and I just lost my mum. She tragically died very suddenly. So I thought, well, okay, Dad really doesn't want me to do that. Okay, well, my sister said, because she was older than me, she said, "Well, look, you can do music anyway while you're there," which is exactly what I did. So I did a French degree.
Oh, wow.
So
Right.
that was the other thing I loved to do, and I'd already done quite a lot of acting and sort of theatre things and musical theatre things, and I just loved jazz. And I joined the Jazz Society immediately. And,
Oh, brilliant. That's good, yeah.
and it was in Cardiff. I went to Cardiff.
Right.
And there was a Welsh Jazz Society, which was really active, and it was through a wonderful guy called Jed Williams, who actually started the Brecon Jazz.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I remember the first year, they didn't have enough pianos, so a few of us students who also had some gigs were pushing a piano up the high street, followed closely by the piano tuner, who was then going to try and tune it into shape. They just didn't have, the first year it was kind of, definitely belts and braces.
Oh, brilliant, yeah. But it's quite hilly there
grew.
as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it grew, and it was a lovely, and so, I
So
mean,
you-
they're
so
very,
you know it from
very,
from the
very
beginning.
musical.
Fantastic,
in
yeah.
Wales. So it was
Yeah.
a really good, I didn't know, but it was a good place. And then I could go and see my dad, who was really suffering, because Mum tragically died very suddenly out of the blue, and she's only 46, so
Oh, I'm
it
sorry
was a
to-
terrible
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But from Cardiff, I could get home every weekend, or he
Yeah.
could come up see me, and that was nice, actually.
Yeah. It's the right part of the country, isn't it, to go? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm very fond of South Wales, and Wales, full stop, actually. But yes, they used to joke, say, "Oh, Frampton-on-Severn, they got webbed feet down there, haven't they?"
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, and I was going to say that Lynn from Brecon Jazz Club asked me to say hello to you.
Oh,
because we had a
Lynn,
bit of a
she's
chat with her,
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going strong, Well, have obviously
COVID
hiatus,
aside. Yeah.
but I'm sure they'll start as soon as they can,
Brilliant.
because we need music.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
It's like life's blood, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, the whole kind of COVID thing. What was everybody doing? They were just turning to the arts, either TV, books, whatever, listening to music. That's the only thing that kept people going. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. All those amazing podcasts. Well, here we are, you see.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeps,
Yeah.
And it keeps people engaged, and it keeps people from feeling that they're on their own. It's great to know that you're all listening or tuning into something and you're with other like-minded people.
Sure. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So You said you mentioned you went to Paris. So was that after your degree?
That was during my degree.
Okay.
My third year I spent in Paris. Now, I was so lucky. I was just so desperate to sort of infiltrate the French jazz scene, and I was just at the right time, because in the first week I met some great musicians that I'm still friends with, and we've recorded a couple of albums with.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, Patrick Villanueva, Pascal Gobert, and I sang. Wait for it! I sang regularly with Danny Doris, who's like the French Lionel Hampton, and Roger Guérin, who was a fantastic band leader and trumpet player. And in that band, it was Kenny Clark.
Kenny Clark?
So,
oh,
yeah,
wow.
So I for a whole year, I did like 2 gigs a week at least with Kenny Clark.
Oh, brilliant.
I mean,
and he was living in Paris? He was in Paris?
Yes.
Brilliant.
He was one of those who went over there and never came back, you know.
Fantastic.
Married a nice French lady and, you know.
Brilliant.
So
Brilliant,
that really was a fantastic apprenticeship for me.
Yeah. I mean, he is there from the beginning of bebop type thing. Yeah. So, yeah. Great.
What the time.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And the beaming smile.
So how long were you in Paris for? So you
well,
went over...
technically for a year.
Right.
But I also met up with another lovely student, Rory Bremner, who was doing French and German at the time.
The impressionist?
Yes, indeed.
Or kind of satirical impressionist.
Yeah, exactly, and writer and a very funny man. And we wrote this sort of review that we put on at the British Institute called "You Are Eiffel, But I Like You." You can imagine. Doing lots of really silly things, and and lots of silly voices, which I've always loved doing.
Brilliant.
So then we took that to the Edinburgh Fringe. We slightly reworked it, and it was called Midnight Excess.
Okay.
And then and we came back. He came back to finish the degree. Both of us got our equity cards before we got our degree through gigging. Brilliant. You know, the variety clause.
Yeah. And
he was doing stand-up and all that. So it was a really special place, Paris, for me. Always has been. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, great. So, talking of Paris, shall we do another tune?
Let's. Well, yeah. I'm very fond of French films. And there were a whole load of films which were produced and directed by a guy called Jacques Demy, and there was a very young, very talented, but pretty unknown pianist called Michel Legrand.
Oh, name rings a bell.
We all got to know him, didn't we?
Yeah.
But his first big hit was with a movie called Les Parapluies de Cherbourg, the umbrellas of Cherbourg. Sounds better in French, doesn't it?
It does.
Anyway.
So if you...
yeah, so this is one song that jazz players loved and still do.
People are trying to get in. I don't know why. They heard you were covering that's the thing. No, we're not selling tickets tonight.
Well, this is a tune called Watch What Happens.
Amazing. Great. It's because I played back and I forgot to switch it back.
Oh, well, never mind.
So watch what happens.
Bossa?
Yeah.
Michel Legrand. Let someone start believing in you. Let him hold out his hand. Let him touch you and watch what happens. Someone who looks into your eyes and sees into your soul. Let him touch you. Watch what happens. Cold. Don't believe your heart is cold. Maybe just afraid to be broken again. someone give their heart, someone who cares like me, like me. Oh, let someone start believing in you. Hold out their hand, touch you, watch what happens. Someone who looks into your eyes and into your soul. Ooh, watch what happens. It's just afraid to be broken again. Let someone with a real love to give, let them give you their heart. Magic we'll see. Let someone give their soul, someone who cares like me. Let someone give their heart, someone who cares just like me. Thank you. Funny film, if you stand back and see it as it is. That bit where there's this lovely bossa beat and the French lyric is all about somebody, he's actually proposing marriage, singing that song.
Right.
To Catherine Deneuve.
Okay, yeah.
Or to the mum, yes, anyway. So it's a funny thing, but I do have a connection with it because I sang at the Meridian, which was also called the Club Lionel Hampton, that Lionel Hampton club, and the guy who was booking was actually the voice of the guy in the film, Guy.
Oh, right, so he was an overdub, was he?
Yeah.
Right.
And he was a wonderful jazz singer called Tu Partais. And we jammed one night.
Oh, great.
So, and I thought, what, you're on that movie? What? That's one of my favourite movies.
Fantastic.
Les Parapluies de Cherbourg.
Janet McCann, our Mood Indigo events co-organiser, that's one of her favourite films.
Oh, it's just magical.
Yeah.
And the
it's
music
sung all the way
is so
through,
great.
isn't it?
It's like an opera.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. It was so beautiful. And just think, if that hadn't done so well, maybe there wouldn't have been all those other lovely movies that Michel Legrand wrote for.
Yeah.
And they're just fantastic. I just love them. So
apparently that film, was it the one that was out a few years back, the one that was about the jazz pianist in America, La La Land.
Oh,
well,
yes.
Well, I've never seen it.
Some of that was filmed at the Caveau de la Huchette, which is a wonderful club in Paris.
Well, apparently I did read about, when the film was coming out, I read that the director was completely influenced by by Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's so joyful and colourful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So you had a wonderful time in Paris. So you finished your studies and then you
Yeah.
decided to stay there a bit longer.
I had to come back to do the degree.
Yeah, yeah.
It's best. So I did that, and actually no, I because I had my equity card, I went straight into. I was already rehearsing Comedy of Errors, Shakespeare for an outside production.
Oh, fantastic.
Before I actually sat my finals, so I was already doing what I've seemed to continue to do, is like keep the plates spinning in the air. Then I joined another theatre company, and we did it was a quite an interesting comedy. It was actually about a football team, and there was some shenanigans, financial shenanigans.
Right.
And it was, it was. I don't know which one it was, but this one was based in Swansea, and it was the company was called Made in Wales Company,
Okay.
and we went everywhere, so it was lovely. But I was always also doing gigs, and I was working quite a lot with a wonderful guitarist called Dylan Fowler.
I don't know.
He had
right.
an 8-piece, 9-piece, in fact, with me, called Frevo. It was very Brazilian influenced. Frevo is a crazy dance. And so I was doing a lot of music as well by night. And then I got this gig in London, a theatre gig, TIE, Theatre in Education.
Okay.
But it was a French-speaking theatre company.
Oh, wow.
So I was doing, it was called Back to Back, and wordplay on Le Baccalauréat, the back. And so we did lots of things in French over here, but we also did some things in English in Paris for
Right.
students. And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
great. It was
yeah.
great. I loved it. And then after that, I came to the end of my contract, and I thought, you know what? I really want to be a jazz singer.
Right. And just concentrate on that
Yeah,
side of
so
it.
that's what
Yeah.
I did. And
Yeah. Great.
that's what I'm
Still
been
doing.
doing for
Yeah.
a while.
Have you ever had an inkling to try and maybe do some more acting and do something?
Well, I
like
did.
that?
2007, much later, because I've had children, you know, so sort of it was easy to be a musician than go off on tour with a play.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
really difficult, you know, with kids. However, I still did some voice acting, and then 2007, I got headhunted to sing the main role in a wonderful musical called The Lady in the Dark.
Okay.
And the music, it was written in 1941 by Kurt Weill and Ira Gershwin. And it's from this that the Saga of Jenny, the My Ship comes
Right,
from
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
This is new. So it's a really wonderful jazz score.
Yeah.
And I got to sing all those songs. I couldn't believe my luck. And it was because they wanted a soprano who could swing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was most of it was in French, except the lyric for My Ship. They didn't touch that. That was in English. But everything else was in French.
Brilliant.
And I
guess,
loved it.
Yeah. And I guess your French speaking and your French singing is, you know, your accent's
Oh, it's my
spot
thing.
on, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a French in a previous life. You know.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
No,
So
I love it.
when did you decide to start becoming like a recording artist then?
Well, you'll laugh, but it happened by accident in a way, because I was living in sort of Hemel way, round that way, and I found that there was something called the 33 Arts Centre in Luton.
Okay.
And this is how long ago it was. I sent a cassette.
A demo cassette.
I know. So I sent a cassette, thinking I'll just try, you know, get a gig. I didn't know that they were a label.
Oh, okay. Great.
And Paul Jolly rang me up, and he said,
So this is then turned into 33 records, is that right?
33 records.
Right.
So let me see. I was already a mum before I had a record contract. Ben was about one-ish. Yeah, I think he was about one-ish. And I loved it. And he said, oh, well, I mean, there was a gig as well. But he said, oh, well, are you signed to anyone at the moment? I thought he was joking. I said, well, actually, no. He said, well, would you like to make an album? I said, yes, please. I mean, it was literally like that, because I didn't even know they were a label.
Yeah.
But they were a fledgling label.
Yeah.
So I have been working for Paul ever since then. So that's like 91.
Brilliant. That's so good. Yeah. That's great to have a relationship with a record label that lasts that long.
He's wonderful, but he's a musician, so that helps.
Yeah, great.
And an out jazzer. And
so how did you decide what to record and who to record with?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? The first album was called Never Let Me Go.
It's a great song.
And that was the title track. I loved that. And I also got a lovely band together, and it was Dave Newton, Dave Green, Clark Tracy, and one of my all-time favourites, Don Weller, who I loved working with. Yeah. And of course, it was, just quick. Studios were quite expensive in those days, so you had to do it in a day. Yeah. Which is great. Yeah. Because it concentrates the mind,
Yeah. And it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it is. And also, I think it's really nice for singers to get to at least tour or, gig the songs they're going to record. And we've been lucky to do that.
Right, that's good.
So,
so did you find getting gigs difficult or easy back then? How did you go about?
There were a bit more. I think there were a few more gigs. Yeah, we're talking early 90s, right? And jazz had quite a revival. I mean, I remember in the 80s when I first came to London '85, and we had the Wag Club, and we had all those people dancing to jazz.
Yeah, great.
You go to the Wag Club, and people are dancing to Red Clay, and I mean,
yeah, brilliant.
It was so hip. So
people just keep trying to come in today. I don't know why.
Ooh.
It's normally we're the only people in the building, but for some reason, it must be the fame. You're
oh yeah, right.
Everyone knows you're here today. I'm just going to check if there's any questions. Most people saying fantastic, Michel Legrand. Somebody says Frevo was outstanding. Sid Thomas, do you know Sid?
Oh.
Sid Thomas says Frevo was good. John Quinn was a really good album too. So I guess he's talking about your album.
Oh, bless, thank you. Well, it was a joy to make, and it's always nice to sort of document things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
So any more questions, any comments, just put them in the comments. We like to interact with you. Should we do another song?
Yeah, let's.
What should we do?
Well, now, very good question. Why don't we do, let me see. Do you fancy another French one?
Yeah.
Is it Tu Partais?
Tu Partais. This is an interesting song because basically Piaf, during the war, he hid Michel Amer, who wrote this down in the south in the unoccupied territories in France. And she also hid another guy called Norbert Glansberg, who wrote lots of hits for her as well. And she cheekily said, I want to be paid back, but only in songs. Well, she got her money's worth, because this became a huge hit, and later a worldwide hit, because it acquired some English lyrics, and Peggy Lee recorded it with Quincy Jones, a young Quincy Jones. So it's called Si Tu Partais, or Peggy called it If You Go. It's a sort of smouldering rumba. Feel free to smoulder. Si un jour tu brisais notre amour, partais pour toujours. Tout sombrerait dans la nuit, les oiseaux dans leur nid ne chanteraient plus, leur chant s'est perdu. Oh, si un jour tu brisais notre amour, si un jour tu partais sans retour, les fleurs perdraient leur parfum et ça serait la fin de toute joie. Reste avec moi, crois-moi, c'est vrai, j'en mourrais si tu partais. And Peggy sang, if you go, if you love me no more, if I know that you want me no more, then the sun would lose its light, day turn into night, night without stars, without stars. Oh, if you go and you leave me alone, if I know you're no longer mine, winter would return to spring more than the birds no more would sing. That must not be. Stay here with me. My heart would die, I know, if you should go. You didn't think I'd be doing a Piaf song on this, but she was pretty hip.
Lovely tune. Lovely.
Yes, so she recorded. Peggy recorded that with strings. It's a beautiful cover, Quincy Jones Orchestra, and it's the title track of that album.
Somebody says, "Hi Tina, this is Elaine James. Do you remember me, Super Nanny from back in the day?"
Oh, I certainly do. Oh, lovely. Hello.
She says she last saw you in London Church alongside Karen Street, accordionist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, how lovely.
And Frank Griffith says, "How about a chorus of Haunted Heart? Ha ha. Tina owns that classic song."
Bless you. I didn't bring that on,
She
unfortunately.
recorded it on the same CD, My Kind of Love, as If You Go.
Yes.
And Tu Partais, yeah.
Yeah. The great Frank Griffiths, fantastic arranger.
Yeah, he lives in Liverpool now, doesn't he?
I know. What I want to know is he picking up the Scouse accent?
Yeah, let us know, Frank. Great stuff.
I think for me that the influence of French music has been huge, but actually, I think in jazz it has been very influential, and so many arrangers and composers studied with Nadia Boulanger. Boulanger, pardon. They are my teeth. Nadia Boulanger and Ellington. There's a whole list of students who studied with her.
I think Keith Jarrett was supposed to study with her, then he didn't go, I think. But she's very famous, isn't she?
Ellington did, Dexter did. Oh, so many of them. And but a lot of, New Orleans was a French colony, so it was kind of deeply
like Cajun
embedded.
kind of,
and that whole melting pot of the Creole and Yeah.
Yeah, which really jazz was born from, really.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So who are your sort of influences? Who did you like to listen to that you brought into
Ella.
Ella, yeah.
Ella's the first one. I got so excited. I think I nearly broke the springs on the settee when I was little. Mum had bought the double album, double LP of Duke Ellington. Ella sings the Duke Ellington songbook.
Right.
And I just thought A Train was the best, with all the train noises, and I just thought it was just fantastic.
That's
I still
great.
do.
So it really hit you from an early young age.
Totally.
That's great.
Totally. And Mum and Dad had some old 78s, and there was one of them, an old 78 of High Society. And, you know, Now You Has Jazz, and that's such a great song as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess because Mum and Dad really loved the standards, you know, and Mum had all those songbooks, and we'd flick through them, and I'd learn new ones, you know, looking over her shoulder.
Fantastic.
And I really enjoyed it.
What a great kind of early influence to have that. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, and then later on, when I came, well, much later on, I did the Ella Fitzgerald Songbook Show with Barbara J and Tommy Whittle and
Oh, great.
and Maxine Daniels, fantastic singer.
Yeah. Somebody says, Frank says, Scouse accent would be impossible for me to adapt. And Sid Thomas says, you were the midwife for Cafe A Calva, remember?
Sorry, say it again.
Sid Thomas says, you were the midwife for Cafe Alcalva. Is that right? Maybe not.
Cafe Alcalva. Where was...
Is that a show or something? Or
I don't know. I should know, if I was.
Should be getting the royalty checks for that. Yeah. Let us know, Sid, if what you're referring to.
Yes, please. Give us a clue. Yeah.
And then Elaine James says, at the Riverhouse Barn, you were accompanied by Scott Sachs.
Oh yes, Scott Hamilton.
Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think it was Malcolm Edmonston was on piano.
Oh, okay.
A quite young whippersnapper.
Right.
Oh, that's another lovely place.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope they can start up again as well.
Well, they're starting up. In fact, I'm actually running the jazz program for them now.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And our first one is August the 15th. It's an outdoor concert.
Brilliant.
Which will be, it's going to start with, who did it start with? Jim Mullen, organ trio.
Oh, brilliant.
Jim Mullen. And then the second band is Sarah Dowling, quartet.
Fantastic.
And then I'm going to be playing with Graham Flowers, and it's a quintet. Graham Flowers quintet with a saxophone player called his name's gone off the top of my head now. He plays with Incognito. Really good tenor player.
Oh, I can see him.
He goes back a long way with Jason Rebello and those guys.
Answers on a postcard.
Answers on a postcard. Yeah. His
Fantastic.
name's gone off the top of my head. Anyway, it's a Graham Flowers quintet. So, but live music is returning there.
Oh, brilliant.
So if anyone wants a gig, you have to come see me, and I'll give you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's a lovely venue as well.
Mm.
Yeah. People get it confused with this place though, because this is Riverhouse. So this is Riverside Art Centre, and that's the Riverhouse Barn Art Centre.
Yes.
So and they're about 3-4 miles apart. So
yes,
confusing.
Well, at least if you have gone to the wrong place, you won't be lost for long.
No.
It's not. I think it gets trickier if you've written in your diary something wrong, like Chelmsford when it should be Cheltenham.
Yeah.
I mean, then you won't get to the gig.
Yeah. Or the classic is, I'm in Leeds, but I can't find the castle.
Oh, ouch. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has happened before. Yeah.
It probably has.
Yeah.
Oh.
Patrick Lahar, Esther Bennett's got it. Patrick Lahar.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Brilliant. Thanks, Esther. Yeah, he's
Thanks.
Graham Flowers and
We're
Patrick
having
Lahar.
blonde moments. Can't quite remember them.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, how's your lockdown? How's that been? Or did you manage to stay
Well,
sane?
I did. You know, when we had that tiny little pocket of being able to do things, was it October? I got called to replace, two singers on a cruise.
Oh wow!
And it, my friend Pauline, wonderful singer, Pauline Atlan, she got COVID.
Right.
So I had to replace her. And then China Moses just didn't want to come.
Right.
So I was really busy on that ship.
Oh, brilliant!
And
I
it
guess
was
it's
a jazz cruise.
It's great, isn't it? Because I guess you're all self-contained and they can control.
Yeah. Oh boy, I had so many things shoved up my nose. It was not nice. It was really not nice. And we had our temperature taken every day. But it didn't matter. It worked.
Yeah.
And it was a big band, and it was lots of different, and it was everyone was French musicians.
Oh, fantastic!
And it was great fun and a really, really lovely occasion, which I just think I was so lucky.
Yeah. How long? Where did you go? Where did you...
Well, all around the Med. It
Right.
was only 2 weeks, but it was great.
Yeah, exactly what the
It was
doctor
wonderful.
ordered. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, and then everything got shut down again. So
Oh no. So then, looking forward, when we start to open up again, which I guess we have already, have you got any kind of projects that you're thinking of doing that you'd like to do?
Well, this wonderful album called 52nd Street and Other Tales. I will
Okay.
be hopefully touring that. And I've been wanting, and a similar thing. Well, I love the book, Three Wishes. You know, it was the Baroness Rothschild, you know, the jazz baroness. Yeah, Nika, exactly,
Yeah.
Nika. And I put a show together about that as well. But it's all about New York and all the characters. And I must also do some more of the things I recorded with Ray Bryant.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So it's about actually getting the music out again. You know,
Right.
getting it out there. That's what we need.
Yeah, great. Okay, that's some positive things
Yeah.
to coming out of this. I just check the question.
But it's been a long slog, it seems to me, and I think quite a lot of people suffered, being, you know, either feeling just hopeless. It felt at times it was interminable.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. You've also worked a lot with Duncan Lamont, who we know
Oh yes.
really well.
Oh yes. What an artist, and a lovely man. So yes, that album was the one he chose all the songs, and so we got lucky. We recorded in the January, and then everything got locked down in the March.
Right.
So we didn't even get into the studio to mix it until
Right.
like June.
Right,
You
yeah,
know, you think, I
yeah.
remember this one. Oh yeah.
And Duncan Lamont Jr. was involved heavily with
Yes.
that, wasn't
Oh,
he? Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's a beautiful booklet, and they found all the wonderful little notes and photos and memorabilia, and the actual note that Spike Milligan, who wrote the lyrics for the English folk song, it's really a beautiful CD. So anyway, hopefully I will be touring and
Fantastic.
flogging those.
Yeah, doing some of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Available on cassette? No.
No, oh my God, no. But definitely on the CD. And you want the CD because there's a beautiful booklet. And yeah, what an artist, and what a wonderful ray of sunshine Duncan Lamont Senior. Well, and Junior is too.
And Junior,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
We were lucky to have Junior here with us. I think it was our last gig here, actually, with Esther.
Oh,
And-
love
and-
Esther. Are you there, Esther?
She is here.
Oh,
Um,
fantastic.
and yeah, so it was great to have Duncan Junior on that too. Great player in his own right, isn't he?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Cool. Should we do another song?
Let's do something that reminds me of Humph. Used to do this with Humph. It's the wonderful song T for Two. So as tempo to start with?
Okay.
Yeah. Humph Littleton used to absolutely adore this song. And it's a happy memory of gigging with Humph.
Do you want the first chord?
Picture me upon your knee with tea for two and two for tea. Me for you and you for me, all alone, with nobody near us to see us or to hear us. No friends, no relations on their vacation, and we won't have it known that we own a mobile phone, dear. Day will break and I'll awake, and I will try how I'll try to bake a cake. Maybe you could take for all the guys to see. We will make a family, a girl for you and a boy for me. Can't you see how happy we could be? Picture me upon your knee, tea for two and two for tea. Me for you, you for me, all alone. Nobody near us, no one to see us or to hear us. Oh, won't have it known we own a phone, dear. Day will break and I'll awake, try to bake a cake for all the guys to see. We will make a family, girl for you and boy for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Won't have it known we own a phone, dear. A day will break, I'll awake, try to bake a cake for all the guys to see. We will make a family, girl for you, boy for me. Can't you see how happy? Can't you see how happy? Can't you see how happy we could be?
Great.
Kettle's boiled.
People are laughing at your mobile phone.
I know. I try.
Apparently it's nearly 100 years old, this song.
Yeah, well, it would be.
Yeah.
because it's in Irv, isn't it? Irving, Berlin. Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Who wrote it? Let's quick look.
Oh, let's answers on the
Vincent
postcard.
Newman's.
Oh, of course it is Vincent Newman. Sorry. Blonde Muntiger. Yes.
Mobile phone, possibly not in the lyrics in the 100 Years.
No, definitely not.
Brilliant.
And it showed that you were listening. That's great.
Brilliant stuff. Just going back to some of the previous things. Sid Thomas says Veronique.
Sorry?
Sid Thomas says Veronique.
Veronique.
Yeah. So that's maybe what was referring to before with the Café El Calva.
Ah, Café and Calva. I'm so sorry. Veronique. Well, bien sûr. Yes, Café and Calva. She is a wonderful singer, and she's recorded an album called Café and Calva. So I'm the midwife. Yes, okay, I'm with you because I'm really slow today. I'm sorry, Veronique. Thank you so. Yes, that's a great album. Absolutely. Café and Calva. Calva is apple brandy.
Forgot to do this. Sorry, Debs.
Café Calva is something that they do in Normandy, and it's a coffee with a little tot of apple brandy. So Café and Calva.
Fantastic stuff. Brilliant. I think that's all the questions. Yeah, so going back to your kind of jazz history, what kind of changes have you seen over the last 15, 20 years or so, from, like you say, from when you've started to today?
I think we've seen a decline in the lovely small venues.
Right.
There were a lot of places to play where they had live jazz, particularly.
Yeah.
And I hope that's going to grow because people love, even restaurants. And I used to do quite a few things with Phil Lee. Phil Lee, wonderful guitarist.
Oh, okay.
And
they used to have all those kind of Pizza Express.
Yeah, well,
gigs.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's right. And does anyone remember that place in Covent Garden? You had to go down the stairs. Palookaville.
Okay.
Do you remember Palookaville?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Well, there were a lot. And also the bass clef, I used to go there a lot. And then they had one called the tenor clef.
Oh,
and
okay.
it was a great hang. And when I first came to London, Ian Thomas, he said, I've got a gig at the bass clef. And then after that gig, he said, come with me. I've got another gig now. And I thought, crikey, it's late. And it was at the old 606.
Oh,
Number
wow.
606 Kings Road.
Yeah.
And so I started really going to the 606 a lot. I mean, yeah, because I was doing, at that time, when I first came to London, I was doing back-to-back the theatre company. But we were up at stupid o'clock going to schools and colleges and things like that. And after that, I'd gig.
Right, yeah.
I just didn't sleep for about a year.
Good. It's good old days. You just like playing and singing and doing, being out all the time.
There were a lot of places.
A lot of places to hang out, I guess, as well. After,
Yeah, and of course Ronnie's. And there was that fantastic deal on a Monday night if you were in the MU or,
Yeah.
So I always used to go and see people like
They
Cedar
should bring-
Walton and, 2 or 3 times and Blakey and my heroes.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah. He says he was beginning to doubt his own memory. That's brilliant. And so you do a lot of kind of teaching as well.
Yeah, I love it.
How did you get into that? And
Well, don't you think it's always been the way? People, want to know how you do this. Oh, well, then I do little workshops. And it started from there, really.
Right.
And then I set one up, which still goes. I'm not sure if it's going to happen this year. I hope it does. But it's in the Loire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've done other ones in France and And Citaldo, the Global Music Foundation, is wonderful, and they do. Again, I'm not sure if it's
That's
happening
Stephen
this year.
Keogh, is it?
Sorry?
Stephen Keogh?
Stephen Keogh.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Him and Marnie masterminded it. And again, everything's been on hold for that sort of thing. But I really hope it can come back, even stronger than it was.
As before, yeah. And so you obviously enjoy, do you do private lessons as well? Do you do that sort of thing as well?
And Veronique. And I teach at Guildhall and Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama as a visiting jazz professor, and also London College of Music.
Great.
Where I teach actually pop and jazz. But actually that's not so difficult to do pop and jazz.
Yeah. It's a bit difficult when you start categorising, putting things in boxes. I mean, it's just music, isn't it, really? And it's an improvisational side of it, and obviously there's stylistic things that you can do. But
it's funny. 1 minute people say, and I'll always send people away to, great, but listen to this, and then it's so wonderful when somebody comes back, and that of course be into lots of different things. Why you don't want to pigeonhole yourself,
No, exactly.
And and so it's great. Somebody said, I'd like to do this Billie Eilish tune, which is great. And she said, and then I'd really like to do this thing. I think it's written by Duke Ellington. Yes.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant.
And it's good as I guess
because it's the cross fertilization.
Yeah, you can, like I was about to say, you plant the seed, don't you?
Yeah,
that's it. And then you see where it goes. It's great. Because I think your daughter's a musician, isn't she?
She certainly is. She went to Bath University, and she did a pop performance course and recording and all sorts of things. And she's in a band, and she's a songwriter, and check them out. They're called the Fangs of the Dodo.
The Fangs of the Dodo.
Fangs of the Dodo. And you think the singer is largely blue. She has blue makeup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you think, is there something wrong with my... No, it's not. But the music's great, and I love it. It's sort of, I guess it's prog rock, but I can definitely hear jazz in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, having a jazz musician mother,
it's great.
Got to have an influence somewhere.
The latest tune out, I think, is Hung by a Thread.
Okay. So are they signed, or are they just independent? They just release the music themselves?
Well, they release it themselves because at least they can keep control of it. But I think there's all sorts of interesting things happening.
Paul Jolly doesn't want to sign them.
No, he's not doing that one, but you never know. And we have plans actually to sing together.
Oh, great.
Gemma and I have always sung together.
Yeah.
So it's
so the influence must have been, she must know hundreds of standards and things anyway. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. In fact, it's quite funny because she said the first jam, she sang Kansas City Blues, and that got her into lots of different bands. When she went to Bath University.
Oh, okay, great.
And the Bath Spa. I must get that wrong. Bath Spa University. And so of course. But I mean, blues, jazz. It's also
connected, isn't
intertwined, isn't it?
Exactly. And also, you've got to think that people live in a contemporary world now as well. Yeah. That you're going to have so many other influences from all contemporary music, rock, pop. And
it makes it richer.
Definitely, yeah.
Most definitely, and I love that. And I love all sorts of music. I love Brazilian music. I love salsa. I love lots of different influences. I mean, a good tune is a good tune.
Exactly. You're very good at singing in kind of obviously French and English. Do you speak any other languages at all?
I sing in a few other languages. Yeah. I wouldn't say. I mean, I did German at one point, but I've sung a lot of Italian things and Spanish.
Great. Yeah.
They're beautiful languages, aren't they?
Yeah.
And Portuguese is just the best.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So. Well, I don't know. I'm happy when I'm learning new things, and there's an awful lot of music out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I mean, and actually, did definitely keep me a bit sane, if that's what I am. Is just learning new songs.
Yeah. So how many albums have you recorded under your own name?
Oh, do you know? I'm not quite sure. Does anyone know?
Any answers on a postcard on here? Because I was going to ask you, how do you keep yourself interested in learning new stuff, and obviously some people established will just kind of sit back and they've learnt say 100 songs and that's enough for them.
Oh, it's never
you
enough.
Always want to.
And the thing is, I write
new things.
lyrics to other people's music as well.
Great.
So I did this album, which I also want to do some touring with, the Mark Murphy songbook, because he wrote a lot of lovely lyrics and collaborated with a dear friend of mine based in Munich, Andy Luther, and he wrote some wild jazz haiku, which he was going to record, but he got too poorly. So we recorded it and had his blessing, which was lovely.
Yeah.
And so I did, this album about really trying to channel Mark Murphy's energy.
Great.
And it was lovely. Some of his music, well, I would say mostly the things that he and Andy had done, but then Andy and I have since, recorded things that we wrote together. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Any kind of wish list things that you haven't done that you think,
So
I'd love
many.
to do something? Yeah.
So many. I would like to. I mean, when I did Lady in the Dark, I was so fortunate to be singing with a 23-piece orchestra every night. I mean, that was just.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, wow, is this happening? And it was wonderful, and it made me want to do some more orchestral things.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah. Do you get involved with the arrangement side of things, and do you do all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah, try to,
Yeah.
I certainly have ideas about all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't go to a music college, so a lot of the things I've learnt by picking it up.
Yeah.
But again, that's learning. I think.
Well, that's the best way.
We're
isn't
happy.
It? Yeah. Learning.
I think humans need to be learning new things.
Yeah.
I think it makes us happy.
Yeah. I think so. It keeps you on your toes, and it's good for the brain. It's good for your soul. It's good for everything, isn't it?
And also, I love teaching because it's sharing, and this music is so special. It should be shared.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love saying, you're gonna like this, and sending them off and thinking, well, I hope they do. But generally, they do.
Great.
Because you get to know people, and you say, I think this might suit you. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Somebody here says Ben, it must be your son, Ben,
My lovely
is a
Ben.
drummer, I believe. Is that correct?
No, my ex-husband was a drummer, Clark Tracy, fantastic drummer. Ben is a chef and a voice actor who has recorded a couple of things with Stan Tracy. He did the Child's Christmas in Wales, Dylan Thomas. And
great.
Stan,
So he did the narration, did he?
Yeah, narration.
Yeah.
And also they did their version of the Under Milk Wood.
Right, great.
So and Ben plays piano. He's a very musical lad. He couldn't really not be, could he?
No.
There's no escaping it.
No.
Luckily, he loves his music.
Especially with such esteemed parents.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at this. 24 albums with lots of different people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I lose count. It really reminds you how long you've been on the planet. Really.
Yeah. Great.
But
stuff.
it's a delight, and it's lovely to look back and think, gosh, yes, I've done those.
Brilliant.
More to come.
Yeah, more to come. That's the main thing, isn't it? Shall we do another song?
Yeah.
And I'll remember to turn us back on after we finish.
Oh yes. Okay, Okay, do we do an up one or a beautiful ballad?
Let's do You've Changed. It's such a lovely song.
Maybe just give me the last bit in, last four in or something.
Yeah, sure.
Well, this is a wonderful song that Billie Holiday recorded on that wonderful Lady in Satin album, which is definitely one of my Desert Island discs that I would probably go and drown myself rescuing from the waves. You've changed. That sparkle in your eyes has gone. Your smile is just a careless yawn. You're breaking my heart. You've changed. You've changed. Your kisses now are so blasé, and you're bored with me in every way. Can't imagine how, but you've changed. You've changed. You've forgotten the words I love you. Every memory, yes, every memory we shared. You ignore every star above you. Can't imagine now you ever cared. You've changed. You're not the angel I once knew. No need to tell me that we're through. I know it's all over now. How you've changed. The wonderful Terence Collie. You've forgotten the words I love you. Every memory, every memory. You ignore every star above you. I can't imagine now you ever cared. You've changed. You're not the angel I It's all over now because you've changed. Thank you.
The wonderful Tina May, everybody.
Thanks
Fantastic.
for having me.
Love this song. Everybody loves this song. It's such a great song and done so well. Yeah, it's one of my favourite songs.
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah.
It's very special. I forgot to say there are 2 albums on the HEP label and one on Lin label. And HEP does not do downloads. So if anyone is interested in getting hold of that, and those are the ones that I did with both Frank Griffiths and I do 2 Duncan Lamont's songs. So if anyone's interested, you can find them on my website.
Yeah,
and
great.
the brand new one.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, the whole
TinaMay.com.
TinaMay.com. Fantastic. Yeah, everybody's saying beautiful. Fantastic stuff. So, as we come out of lockdown, any fancy gigs, anything
Fancy
coming
gigs. Ooh, well, I've got a pencil for a big band gig in July. That'll be exciting.
Great.
So I'm just crossing fingers, toes, everything. I've got a lovely gig coming up next week. Is it next week? Oh God, what date?
First today. So.
I think I'm doing the Ollie V's, which is in Leighton Buzzard,
Oh,
on the
yes.
24th, and on the 26th I'm doing Ipswich Jazz Festival,
Ooh,
which
great.
I'm really excited about.
Yeah, that's really good that that's still happening.
Yeah, it didn't happen last year, so.
So you live in Leighton Buzzard now, don't you?
Yes,
We
the
were talking
Buzzard.
before that Leighton Buzzard is now the kind of hub of jazz in the UK. Forget London, everybody's moving to Leighton Buzzard.
Oh, well, yeah, it's lovely because Alan's there and, Simon Spillett's there. We've got Bruce Adams. We've got a couple of great bass players, Ollie Hayhurst and Dave Whitford, and yeah, it's all
So
good.
how did that happen? How
I
did
don't know.
Everybody just kind of.
I don't know.
And
but I like it.
It's a good place because you can kind of go north, east, south, west there, can't you? Kind of not too far from London.
And a half-hour train ride to Euston. It's pretty good.
That's
isn't
good.
it, really?
Yeah.
So I love it. And it's kind of country, it's almost a village, but it's a very, very small town, which is really nice.
Yeah. And this jazz venue, is it like a little pub, is it?
It's the grooviest little joint. It's called
Right.
Ollie V's Tiki Lounge.
Because I think Simon Spillett played there last week, is that right? Or
Yes.
something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's happening, they're doing Thursdays, and it's just really nice.
Brilliant.
So what else have I got on? Oh, I've got a few things. Oh God, I can't think now. Oh yes, I have. I've got a gig with Wolverhampton. I think it's called Wolverhampton Jazz Festival. It's a new. Look, if I've got this wrong, please look at my website. The dates are on there. TinaMay.com. I'm sorry, I'm really blonde today. I think the pollen's been affecting me.
I think I've caught it as well, forgetting to turn some of these things
I feel
on.
a bit sort of not quite there.
Well, I'm glad it's this weather because we did one 2 months ago with Marion Wyndham. Do you know Marion Wyndham?
Lovely.
Yeah. It was literally 8 weeks ago, probably 8 or 9, and it was snowing outside, and the heating didn't come on, so we were frozen to death in
golly.
it. Yeah, but this is much
She's
nicer.
marvellous. She's done fantastic things.
She's done great things, and I think her jazz festival, it's going to happen
Brilliant.
this year. Yeah,
Brilliant.
I think she's booking everyone she booked last year, just
Sure.
transferring it over.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's great.
that's great stuff. Oh, I've just gone off. Let's see, any more questions? just a lot of people saying, "Oh, you used to work with Nikki Isles." Yes,
I do.
Yes.
I do. She's on that gig.
Oh, great.
Yeah. In fact, we do. Yes. So hopefully there'll be a few.
How did you end up working with her?
At that time, she was living up in Yorkshire, and it was her trio that I was guesting with in Halifax.
Okay.
And my little daughter was very little, like 2 months old. My dad came with me to sort of literally hold the baby while I sang. And I got on so well with her musically, and she's a delightful lady. And so we did our duo album pretty soon after that, and so we've been working for 25 years basically.
Brilliant. Yeah. And you just recently played the 606, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's just lovely, and we think we might have been sisters in a previous life.
Yeah, but she's not too far away in Bedford, isn't she?
No, that's 20 minutes away. You see, it's all happening.
It's all happening there. Yeah. Forget London. We're all moving to Leighton Buzzard.
The Buzzard. Yes.
Yeah. So we've probably got 5 minutes left. Should we just finish on a tune? Have we got any left? Yeah.
What should we do?
So don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That'd be great. We're going to do another song.
Okay. We start now. Well, it seems churlish not to do. This is the theme song, I think. No More Blues. I'm going back home. No more blues. I promise no more to roam. Home is where the heart is. The funny part is, my heart has been there all along. No more blues and no more sighs. No more tears. I promise no goodbyes. The fortune beckons me. Well, I'm gonna refuse. I'm gonna settle down to no more blues. But every day when I am far away, my heart looks homeward, forever homeward. I traveled all the world in search of happiness, but all the happiness I found was here in my hometown. No more blues, I'm going back home. No more tears. Through with all my wandering, gonna settle down, change my life. Who knows, be away when I settle down. There'll be no more blues, nothing but happiness. I'm gonna settle down to no more, yes, every day when I am far away, my heart looks homeward, forever homeward. I traveled all the world in search of happiness. All the happiness I found was right here in my hometown. No more blues, I'm going back home. No more tears. I'm through with all my wandering. I'm gonna settle down, change my life. Who knows, be a wife when I settle down. There'll be no more blues, nothing but happiness. I'm gonna settle down. I'm gonna settle down. There'll be no more blues. No. Gatwick, no M25, no Heathrow, no more blues.
So, thank you very much. Thanks so much, Tina.
Thank you.
It's a real
Thank you so
pleasure.
much for inviting me.
My pleasure. It was great to have you. And then we'll get you back here for a gig, a proper gig with an audience. Yeah.
It's so exciting. Oh, I think it's wonderful. I feel tearful even thinking about the fact that it's all going to come back. Well, you know, I think we really need to support all our venues so much.
Yeah,
you know, it's
for
been
sure.
so hard.
Yeah.
And without putting too fine a point on it, I think we've been thrown under a bus. So we have to really, you know, rise like the phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix from the ashes.
For sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah. Perfect song to finish on. Lovely evening. Thank you. Great stuff. So just to let you know, we're here on the live stream and a gig in person on Sunday the 6th with the guitarist Magic Pish. You know Magic?
Fantastic.
So that's going to be great with Sophie Alloway on drums and Mark Rose on bass. So that should be good fun. Also, we've pretty much programmed right the way through to the December. So moodindigoevents.co.uk. Check out what's coming up. And hopefully see you in person, if not online, very soon. So thanks again. Good evening.